body bags were horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer. And this evening I decided to bring you it's a 2022 movie actually, Beast. I always forget the director's name. He's Icelandic. But this is actually a movie that's set in South Africa. And our two main, the big names, one is South African, Sharlto Copley, and Idris Elba. So South Africa and England. So what we have, Sharlto Copley, he works in South Africa. He's a friend of Idris Elba. Can't remember the character names. A couple of weeks ago I watched this one. And basically he works on in a lion kind of, not sanctuary. He's kind of a wildlife keeper, but for lions out in the open, in the wild kind of thing, because they're being tracked, they're being hunted by poachers for like I think it's like Chinese medicine and things like that. They grind their bones up and things, so they have a high value because obviously that's an illegal thing to do. So that's kind of his job. And so we have Idris Elba with his two daughters. So he takes them there. Like I said, this is an old friend of many years, but it's also a friend of the mother who has passed away. They were separated, Idris Elba and the wife. So obviously he has custody of the kids now, and it's kind of like a bit of a bonding session. They're both teenagers. One is like towards the end of teenage years, maybe 17. The other one's like 13, something like that. And yeah, so they're out there, and so they go out into the wild. They see some lions and things like that, and then they carry on. Sharlto is showing them around, and then they go to this small village, and he's friends to the locals, and he can't find them anywhere. And eventually they fall upon these dead bodies, and he can figure out it's a lion that's done this, but not like, it's very strange what the lion has done. It's like how it's kind of gone about this, because at the start of the movie we see the poachers, and they are basically catching all these lions and killing them, and then one kind of attacks and kills some and escapes. And it's like this lion has a vendetta towards people because what it's done to his pride. So he's obviously been in this village and killed all these people. So Sharlto, he's very obviously, he realizes they can tell the lion is close, so they kind of escape. And of course they're driving for a while, and they come across this villager that's almost dead in the road, and they can hear the roar of the lion. So Sharlto goes to look for the lion, gets attacked obviously, and then it's kind of Idris Elba and his daughters, and they're like, oh, what do? We're kind of stuck. But they have these radios, and yeah, they actually managed to rescue him. I'm not going to go and tell you every single little thing, but they managed to rescue him, bring him back to the car, but he's in bad shape. Because like there's a problem with the car, and like the lion is there and trying to get to them and sort of thing, and then the poachers come. The original poachers from the start of the movie, obviously they're bad people. And one of the daughters, the elder daughter, at one point she's on about that there's these people that are killing poachers. Figure out Sharlto Copley's doing this, and they realise the poachers see who Sharlto Copley is, and it's all kind of kicking off. So you'll be this lion running around and stuff, and it's basically Idris Elba trying to keep his friend obviously alive, but also his main thing is his focus is his daughters, and he's completely out of his kind of realm of situation. He's in to what's to him now a foreign country that he's not used to, is dealing with dying friends, scared daughters, angry poachers, killer lion, broken vehicles, all this stuff, nighttime. Yeah, It's a really, really entertaining film. I think the last kind of entertaining lion film I saw, one which I really like, and I've forgotten the name of it, and actually reviewed it on here, by Dick Maas, the Dutch director from Netherlands. That has a killer lion, and yeah, that's super, super fun. It's like going through Amsterdam. But yeah, this one is kind of very different vibe. That has like a lot of funny moments. This is very serious all the way through. But what I thought was really good was the CGI in this, because yeah, they obviously CGI the lion, and you're very kind of paying attention to the lion. So people are always trying to look to see. I can see it's not real, because you know it's CGI. Now, what I was really impressed with this one was like that the lion has weight to it. It's kind of like when you see an interaction with the person, how it's walking, it's like they nailed that really well, because a lot of the time with CGI, it's like the Relic, for example, this big beast. So I kind of like that. I know this is the mid-90s, towards the end, 97. CGI isn't the best because it has no weight to it. Yeah, there's texture issues and stuff like that, but I think as soon as you add weight to something, it's one of the most important things with CGI. Not just like textures and that. Yeah, how it moves needs to be smooth. Then you look at the weight of something and like how it kind of carries itself. Then you bring all textures into it and stuff like that. So that's something that I was really impressed with this movie. I thought it did a really good job, and it's super entertaining all the way through. Maybe because I didn't have many expectations on this one, but I found myself really enjoying this. Yeah, I mean, I've left my 2022 watching until very much the end of the year, like kind of from like mid-November I started. I think I've only hit 34 titles because I've had sick kids, so at different times, so I haven't really been able to dive into movies as much, because I was like 2 months, maybe I can hammer out 50 movies or 60 movies even, but I've only got to like the mid-30s. But I'll see if I do a top 10. Probably I'm not comfortable doing one with such a low number, but I think this was definitely a top 10 contender. Yeah, with the movies I've watched now, it's kind of like probably like 5 or 6. It's a really, really entertaining movie. Maybe it sounds a bit dull, maybe, I don't know. It has a bit of like that kind of premise of Ghost in the Darkness, that mid-90s one with Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer. It's like a lion revenge kind of thing. It's obviously different to that, but it kind of has that little bit of a feel with it. But highly entertaining movie, doesn't outstay its welcome. It's like a 90-minute one, gets into the action quite early, or immediately the first scene, and it kind of carries on quite nicely all the way through. There's no real kind of dead moments sort of thing with nothing happening. You get some character build up, but that's nicely done. It doesn't outstay its welcome again, and really interesting movie and entertaining, which is what you want to be at the end of the day, entertained by a movie. But anyway, that's the end of my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you, and have a great Christmas and happy holidays. Bye bye.